You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
For you.
I think I said this before people killed me. I said that this reminds me, and it could be like Pacquiao when he fought De La Hoya. So at the end of the day, looking forward off of the last fight with Canelo, I like Crawford every bit as much as I did before.
Terence Crawford has never been the type to shy away from danger, and in the lead up to his clash with Canelo Alvarez, he issued a warning that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. With his trademark calm menace and razor-sharp confidence, Crawford made it clear this fight isn't about fame or headlines. He's stepping into the ring with one mission: to dismantle the legacy of Mexico's biggest superstar.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight. I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
That's you. About if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo.
No, it's not.
For sure.
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Many analysts point to Canelo's size as his built-in advantage, framing him as the naturally bigger, stronger man after climbing through multiple divisions. But Crawford refuses to be rattled. For him, battling bigger bodies isn't new, it's routine. Throughout his career, he's sparred with heavyweights and light heavyweights, often seeking out opponents far above his own division. His team backs that up, reminding critics that even when Crawford was lighter, he rarely, if ever, trained with fighters his own size. That history, Crawford insists, erases the size narrative. Against Canelo, he believes the so-called disadvantage won't even exist.
I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get, and I meant that. Everybody's talking about size, he being a smaller fighter, but even on the stage, I've been sparring big dudes. I hope, like, I'm gonna take a punch. So, like, you get in the ring, and they see something different, like each and every time, it's gonna be another excuse. Why, the reason why, Terence Crawford, but I can assure you, we'll be victorious. After that, we're gonna have a praise.
In an interview, Crawford revealed that he personally reached out to Saudi power broker Turki Alalshikh to help turn the dream fight with Canelo into reality. Alalshikh answered the call, playing a decisive role in orchestrating the blockbuster deal set to unfold this September. At no point did Crawford waver over the weight jump. Instead, he leaned into it with conviction, brushing aside any notion that Canelo's size could intimidate him.
Turki Alalshikh, and letting him know that I was interested in fighting Canelo. And him and a lot of people, at first they was like, nah, he's too big, you need to, focus on your weight class and things like that. But at the time, I'm like, well, there's no one at my weight class that's on that level of Canelo. Canelo comes from a smaller weight class. He's not a massive fighter, 6 foot tall. He's thick, but he's not giant. Picking Canelo was a thing that we looked deeply into.
Crawford has always made one thing clear: no opponent is ever taken lightly. Reputation, belts, or fame don't change his mindset. Every fight demands total focus. He never underestimates, never cuts corners, and never strays into carelessness. That same unrelenting discipline defines his approach to Canelo Alvarez. For Crawford, nothing changes. Each bout is treated as the biggest of his career. His preparation remains razor-sharp, built on meticulous conditioning, flawless strategy, and the precision of one of boxing's most technically gifted craftsmen. At the end of the day, that's what makes him dangerous.
When you look at Spence, that was my biggest challenge. When you look at Postal, that was my biggest challenge. When you look at Masvidal, That was one of my big challenges because I was moving up in weight and, you know, given the circumstances that, you know, his background, amateur background and things like that, Gamboa was my biggest one. They all big challenges in their own right.
You put on a lot of weight after muscle? How is it in that sense? You know, a lot of people say, okay, you're fighting a big guy, once you get used to fighting guys that are bigger than him, it might be smart to put on a little bit more, like now.
Comes natural with working out.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, the only thing about this camp different than any other camp is I don't gotta cut muscle. I don't gotta, you know, watch what I do in strict condition. I can, you know, go fully all out, you know, just do what I need to do to get stronger.
To you, how much is the gold fight performance kind of like a thing you're keeping an eye on?
Well, you know, that's not a fight that I really, you know, look into because, you know, Canelo is a great fighter. Yeah. One bad performance don't define fighter, you know, given the circumstances of his previous fights. And, you know, we looking forward to Canelo being the best Canelo that he can be. Skull might not have made him get to that point where he felt any danger, any significance where he had to go to that deeper level in training or take the fight as serious as he's taking this fight. So, you know, I don't know. What was with that fight?
Yeah, don't feel that. Let me know if it's super tough. Some have said that you have to fight like Skull in order to win the fight. Like, do you feel that you have to fight that way to beat Canelo, or you're like,
just fight my fight. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they have their opinions. They have, you know, they what's going to happen.
Still, Canelo Alvarez's reputation as one of the sport's most dangerous counterpunchers makes him a threat at every second of a fight. Even when his pace slows, his precision and punishing bodywork demand respect, forcing opponents into survival mode rather than risk. But against that kind of conservatism, Terence Crawford shines. His footwork, stance switches, and almost surgical timing allow him to dismantle cautious fighters piece by piece, luring them into traps before unleashing explosive, fight-changing combinations. As trainer Brian Bomack McIntyre emphasizes, a fully conditioned Crawford is built to grow stronger as rounds wear on, just as Canelo's intensity begins to fade.
Just have monstrous power. Canelo is a guy that has power, but is constantly working on this. A great clip of him working with Andrew Ruiz. You know that shield, the weird hand shield they hold on your close? And he's like, this is not this. It's just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see it. Bro, it's so hard.
Shakur Stevenson has brushed aside the weight debate surrounding Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. To him, Crawford's talent, ring IQ, and complete skill set outweigh any supposed size disadvantage. Stevenson points out that Crawford has faced a wide variety of styles and high-level opponents, giving him the tools to handle a challenge of this magnitude. Boxing isn't just about weight, Stevenson stresses. It's about timing, precision, and the ability to take away what your opponent does best. In his view, Crawford has repeatedly shown the adaptability to thrive under any circumstance. For Stevenson, the fight won't be decided by size, but by execution, and his confident Crawford has what it takes to beat Canelo.
I feel like Bug could beat him easy. Bug could beat him easy.
Shout out. What are your thoughts? Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Terence going up another 2 weight classes. Just got to 54. He's skipping 60, going straight to 68. Talking about what's going on.
I feel like once he beat Canelo, that will be like one of the greatest resumes in boxing ever, just because of the fact that he's going up 2 divisions just to fight this guy, and this guy's bigger than him. And not only did you just crush Errol Spence, but you go out there and the way that he beats Canelo too. If he go out there and just dominate and make it an easy fight, honestly, I think that's gonna be like one of the best resumes I ever seen. But as far as the fight, I feel like Bug beat him easy.
Shout out. Don't give me everything, just hot.
For me, it's a blueprint already. Floyd was a lot smaller than Canelo when he fought him. You keep Canelo on the outside. I ain't gonna even say too much, but you keep him on the outside, man. Make it easy.
Even with the challenges of stepping up against a bigger man, Crawford's preparation makes it clear he isn't adding size just for show. As Olympic bronze medalist Omari Jones points out, Crawford has made every extra pound purposeful, sculpting his body through targeted training rather than reckless bulking. This calculated physical evolution, layered on top of his trademark discipline and technical mastery, positions him not only to hold his own at super middleweight but to thrive there. To Jones, this fight embodies Crawford's relentless dedication, a disciplined athlete pushing past limits, ready to prove he can rise to the moment against one of boxing's most formidable champions.
Pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. You know, the nutrition, the you know, like I said, the training. You know, Crawford, he trains hard, so I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know, like we discussed earlier, you know, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it's actually your third win by knockout.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off to a great start. Pro debut in my hometown, and then that was my second fight, Atlantic City on the Boots card, and then my third fight on the Bam Rodriguez undercard. So Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, they're putting me on these cards, shining light on me, giving me TV time to put on for my fans. I feel like I've been doing that.
Analysts have increasingly questioned the substance of Canelo Alvarez's recent victories, noting a shift toward tactical, low-action fights rather than the dominant, decisive wins that once defined him. His unanimous decision over William Skull in Riyadh was a prime example. Canelo threw just 152 punches across 12 rounds, the second lowest output in a full fight since CompuBox began keeping records. By contrast, Terence Crawford steps in with far more variety and dynamism. His seamless stance switches, sharp angles, fluid footwork, head movement, and high-level ring IQ allow him to dictate tempo and dismantle even defensive-minded opponents. That versatility provides Crawford with a strategic edge against a Canelo who has become increasingly methodical and reliant on power.
I see Inoue against lesser competition. He knocks him the hell out. Canelo doesn't finish these guys, and he doesn't look good beating them. You know, shout out to the judges. The judges make Canelo look good for the past 6 fights. And so now we sit here, you know, what is Canelo going to do against Crawford? And while some of you are saying, you know, domination and weight, really the only thing that I hear is his weight, his power, his weight, his power, his weight, his power. And that's all that he has. But when I get to talking about Crawford, we'll dive into that.
Well, to Byron's point, the last quality, super quality fight that Canelo had was against Dimitri Bivol, and we all know what happened with that. You know,
no, I thought Caleb Plant was a good opponent. I thought Caleb Plant was a good opponent.
Well, it was Caleb Plant. Plant then Bivol. Well, don't forget to point out that Bivol came down. Right?
No, that was 175.
Canelo went up. So that kind of puts Canelo at a disadvantage, right? Because he tested.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say that, right? You want to say that.
I mean, you know,
I can.
But I mean, I'm not saying that that's an excuse for him for losing. I'm just saying, hey, you know, if you're gonna test yourself to be great, you gotta wear the consequences.
So let me ask. So no, you're right, 100%. But let me ask you a question. You can answer because I don't know. Like, so when you watching that fight, did you think it was a weight issue, or did you think it was more of a skill and boxing thing when watching the fight with Bivol and no?
It was like outclassed.
I agree.
Yeah,
it was
outclassed,
and it looked like he was being outclassed by basic fundamental boxing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that was my point. That's what I'm.
Right.
I don't think Bivol's weight had anything to do with him because I don't. Bivol's not a knockout artist.
And his legendary power that y'all speak of, this ass-taking Zeus god power that he has, it did not show in that fight. Like, he landed power shots, and Bivol still put him at the end of that jab and did whatever the hell he wanted to.
He did land power shots, but you know, I mean, let's be fair, right? If you got a bigger guy, his punch absorbing is gonna be, you know, more than small.